Hello everyone and welcome back to this week's episode, and yes, it's a full week of the grind, day 7 of daily uploads, and I'm quite happy to be back. I'm quite happy to give you quality Magic content every single day. And after like the weird response from all of you yesterday for playing Jund midrange, we're going back to our ways of playing a blue deck, and we're playing Grixis Control. So what is Grixis Control? What are we doing? Now, main thing I want to point out is that yes, we're playing 2 mainboard Grafdigger's Cage just because this card shuts down Goblins, it shuts down Child Sacrifice, and it shuts down Uro from Sultai midrange. So it's a very good pickup to play in the main board. And beyond that, it's mostly what you'd expect from a control deck. We're playing board wipes, like Extinction Event. We're playing hand disruption in the form of Thought Erasure, Thoughtseize, and we're playing spot removal in terms of Fatal Push, Eliminate, Bonecrusher Giant that serves as both as a threat and as removal, and then Bedevil. So, and we have Tail's End as our counter spell. Now we're doing all of that, and then we're accruing value with Narset, with Chandra, Torture Defiance, my favorite Chandra Planeswalker, and Nicol Bolas, our boy. We also have Nicol Bolas the Ravager, which is a good card because it gives you 2 things. It gives hand disruption, and at the same time it gives you a threat that your opponent needs to deal with. And then we have my favorite card, my boy, which is probably going to be the thumbnail for this video. If it's not the thumbnail of this video, something wrong is happening with me. Scarab God. I've told you multiple times why I love this card, but in brief, this card won me my first Pioneer tournament in a Esper Control shell that I built myself. I play tested it for a while, so I had to play my boy Scarab God. Beyond that, we also attain value with Hieroglyphic Illumination, a card I also really love. Especially because for most of the time you can use it as an opt. I mean, scrying 1 is a good benefit with opt, but the fact that you have this opt-like effect tied with a 4 mana draw 2 spell is quite insane, and that's why I like Hieroglyphic Illumination. Shark Typhoon is a way for us to pressure our control opponent if we're playing the control matchup. So that's it for most of the pickup. I chose to play Eliminate and not Heartless Act just because I don't want to be opposing an Narset. So the fact that Eliminate deals with Narset, the 3 mana one, is the main reason why I'm playing Eliminate, because I wouldn't want my draw effects like Bolas to be dead. I wouldn't want Hieroglyphic Illumination to be dead, although you could argue that, okay, Nicol Bolas' draw effect is dead, but they still have to exile a land or a permanent from their hand. But if you're playing the top deck war, I would rather draw more cards to make sure that I win the game. Tail's End was an inclusion just because it stops so many things. It stops Nissa, it stops Uro. So it counters a lot of spells, and as I mentioned in my Lotus Field control deck, the ability of being able to Tail's End a Fabled Passage is an insane ability. Sorry if I don't sound that excited. I'm quite tired. Today was a very long day. Now our mana base is quite simple. We're playing 2 pathways, 4 catacombs, 4 watery graves, 1 Riverglide Pathway, 3 steam vents, 2 sulfur falls, 4 blood crypts, 4 Dragonskull Summit, and 2 Zagoth Triome. You could play Fetid Pools, which is the Dimir cycle land that's only 2 mana, but I'm saving up as many wild cards as possible for the 12 days of Christmas series that we're starting soon. So that's why I'm not playing that. Now for the sideboard, Aberrate to deal with this new Paradox Engine combo deck, Mythical Dispute to deal with opposing control decks, Narset same exact thing. Legion Warboss is a way for us to diversify our threats post-board, because if I'm playing against a control matchup, let's say, and then I slam in turn 3 Warboss and they sided out all of their removal, they're gonna be surprised, and I have to tell you that they're probably going to be dead in a couple of turns. Warboss attacks for 1 the turn it's on the field, but the turn after it attacks for 5, and you cannot laugh at 5 damage, and you cannot laugh at something that's going to keep on growing, especially after you side out most of your removal. Language is a board wipe that is also useful if you need more board wipes beyond Extinction Event and most of the card draw that we have. Shark Typhoon is once again a way for us to pressure control opponents, and then Leyline of the Void is here to obviously stop graveyard decks. Now that's going to be pretty much it for DeckTech. If you did enjoy this DeckTech, please do consider subscribing. It helps the channel a lot. Make sure to like and comment, because commenting boosts my video with the YouTube algorithm, and it would mean a lot for my hard work to be recognized by YouTube and by other members, so we can grow this Chromium family together. If you want to help the channel beyond that, you can always check out my Patreon link in the description down below. With that, I'll see you in the games. we're going second. We also have a turn 1 Thoughtseize after opponent mulliganed once. I mean, I know it's evil, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. And it seems like he's a Sultai deck. I just take his Crossfire, leaving with an Eliminate that does nothing against us because, like, you know, we're a control deck. I mean, he could kill Narset, not gonna lie, but like, killing Narset doesn't seem like that big of an accomplishment against my deck. I think what's gonna put us over the top in this matchup is our ability to deal with these Planeswalkers, mainly Nissa with our Bedevil, and what's also gonna put us off on the top is our ability to counter Nissa with only one land. With only one spell, which is technically. Do I wait one more turn? I think we wait one more turn. I was saying that what's gonna put us over the top is our ability to counter Nissa with one spell, or our main board spell, which is Tail's End. So these two together, I think, are gonna put us over the top in this matchup. Alright, opponent, what's your plan? He plays land, nothing too major. I think we can only cycle our Shark Typhoon. We can also, by the way, Bedevil target Nissa, and at the same time we can Fatal Push one of her lands. So we have all the bases covered. Really excited to see what my opponent does next turn. I should have we can't actually push and Bedevil on the same turn, but we still can do that. So I'm quite happy about our situation currently. I could Bedevil cycle Hieroglyphic Illumination. Many options, honestly, currently. Many options. Alright, Uro gets played. He's not too long from escaping Uro. Sure, Uro goes away. Bye bye, Uro. No one likes you anyways. Let's just play our Hieroglyphic Illumination, try to bait out a counter spell, and we're just gonna draw 2 cards. I could Thoughtseize, but that turns off Bedevil. But that opens up the way for Chandra to be cast, so let's just try that. Thoughtseize, eliminate in response. I should have maybe done that post-combat, but oops. Alright, now that allows him to escape Uro. Although if I have an active Chandra on the field, do I care about Uro? I mean, you could always Bedevil Uro next turn. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play Chandra. I'm gonna keep this back in case opponent top decks a Nissa. So we're gonna keep the Shark away. Let's see what Narset, Chandra exiles. We don't want that. We're just gonna pass back to our opponent, and we're not gonna attack again in case opponent top decks a Nissa. See, the thing is, when you're ahead, kind of thinks of the only ways where you can go, like, when we can lose the game, and then top deck Nissa is one of the ways where we can lose the game, because he can go Nissa, animate a land, attack our Narset down to 2 loyalty. It would take us 3 more turns to ulti her, which is kind of too long in this matchup. So okay, Uro comes back from the grave. Hello Uro, no one likes you again. Thoughtseize, I mean, pick your poison, opponent. I really don't mind whatever you take, I'm fine with. Is this a Thoughtseize? Is this a concede after a Thoughtseize? Is it? Is it? Is it? It doesn't seem like it. All I know is that Uro is probably dead next turn because I don't want him to draw multiple cards. Opponent's thinking very hard. I mean, funny thing is that Bedevil, I have 2 of it, so like it's a multiples. And then an interesting play would be to push our own Shark, and then we can push the Uro. That would be an interesting play. Another play is just a Bedevil Uro, or we could just play Scarab God and double block Uro, but that earns him 1 more card, and I don't want him to draw cards. I think just us currently being ahead on card advantage is what I want from this matchup. Opponent takes the Scarab God, which is weird, because like you don't have any targets for me to reanimate, so why would you take that? We're gonna plus this Narset to have more information before we make our decision, because I could just Thoughtseize takes away our ability to Bedevil, so I think we're gonna decline to do that. I think we're just gonna Bedevil this Uro and kind of hope for the best. Aether Gust? Did he top deck Aether Gust? He did not. Alright, that's amazing. Alright, we need to protect Chandra for 2 more turns, and then if we do, we can ulti her. Opponent probably top decked Anissa. Maybe that's the reason why he wants to keep his he wants to keep our shark off the table. He can go Nissa plus Nissa attack Chandra for 3. In which case I think I'd -3 Chandra, kill the land, and then Bedevil Nissa. Top deck Nissa was expected, honestly. And the sad thing is I still did not draw a black source. If I just draw one black source, I can just simply Bedevil Nissa and then fatal push the Nissa land, but oh well. Exactly, watch it. It's Chandra you're attacking. Eliminate, still no red, still no black source. Grafdigger's Cage. I think we're gonna cast that, paying with our red mana. Spiral in response, I'm just gonna Bedevil this Nissa. In case he draws an Aether Gust, I wouldn't want my spell to be Aether Gusted. Alright, now we're sure that it's not a land because he didn't play it, but we're not sure if it's something relevant, so please don't be a Chandra. He top decked this land because he didn't spiral into this land. Uro is okay, it's just a 3 mana cycle into a land. Yeah, I mean, Island's gonna take down Chandra to 1 loyalty. We can now just fatal push this land and we are ahead. Thought Erasure doesn't really do anything. We're just gonna plus Chandra again to have amount of information. We're gonna play this Hieroglyphic Illumination, keep up 1 black source to fatal push this land. Let's just do that. Alright, finally we draw into a another black source. So fatal push this land away. I think I'm gonna shock in this Blood Crypt, just in case opponent top decks another Nissa, and then I'd have to fatal push the Nissa. Alright, he doesn't. He draws into a Castle Lockwind. Castle Lockwind doesn't pair well versus Chandra because Chandra is already pressuring our opponent. So now he gets double pressured. Alright, Maestro Pulse unlocks Uro, which is a bad thing for us. Does he have enough? He has enough. Let's just plus Chandra. You're definitely playing this beautiful thing called Nicol, Bolas, the Ravager. And we're gonna... If he top decks Nissa, I can push and then eliminate. I can push the Nissa land, eliminate Uro. I think we're gonna... It's worth shocking it in. Thing is, it's not a matchup where he just wins out of nowhere, so I'm fine with that kind of waiting a bit before doing anything. So escape Uro seems like the plan for now. Like, alright, Narset is okay because we have the option to eliminate Narset. Sorry for drinking too much, I'm dehydrated for today. Reminder to stay hydrated, guys. Uro's odd, so taking, so I mean if we keep Extinction Event we're fine. If I eliminate now Narset, we could always just... I mean, he's probably gonna escape Uro, there's nothing he can do for this turn. In which case I would then just Extinction Event next turn. But if he takes Fatal Push, if he takes Extinction Event, I can't Fatal Push Uro unless we trigger Revolt somehow. Revolt is something leaving the battlefield. This Bolas flips, right? He needs 7 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need to top deck black source, I mean a land. In which case we could just flicker and activate Bolas, and then like after activating Bolas we get the option to fatal push the Uro. That's what we're kind of hoping for currently. Or actually, I think I can plus Chandra, make some red mana, right? Yeah, we definitely can. So plus Chandra, make red mana, flip Bolas, post board push. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, so we're just gonna activate Chandra for red mana, use some of that mana to escape Nicol Bolas, and then after escaping Nicol Bolas, we get to fatal push this Uro, and then we get to activate Bolas to draw 2 cards per turn. Yeah, I think that's the plan. That is indeed that indeed sounds like a good plan. Alright, let's see. And now we have the backup tails on. So we're gonna attack first. And now we're gonna activate Chandra for red mana. Chandra is carrying this game. Alright, we're keeping a black source, so it's fine. So Revolt is triggered because a permanent I controlled left the battlefield this turn. Drawing a land would be perfect. Alright, perfect sequence of events. Now we have a Tail's End for any top deck shenanigans. And we have an active Bolas and an active Chandra. So we're quite happy about the sequence of events that we have this turn. Quite happy. We're not too far away from ulting this Nicol Bolas. Opponent cannot escape his Uro unless he maybe top decks a Fabled Passage. In which case we can still eliminate any potential Uro. So quite excited about the turns to come. Alright, opponent, what do you have in mind? Is this an Aether Gust? It's a Maelstrom Pulse. I mean, sure, it's annoying, but it's not the worst thing ever. Uro, sure. I mean, yeah, it's a bummer to lose Nicol Bolas, but we still have this Chandra on the field that's letting us card advantage, dealing damage to our opponent. Perfect. perfect. And now let's just we're probably gonna just draw and then have our opponent exile. I guess he has many lands, so it's gonna take a while before we actually are able to deal with all of his lands. But we're in a good spot. And then we could reach the position where we ulti both Chandra and Bolas. I'm gonna take a look at his hand. Thoughtseize can go away. Another Bolas can actually stay on top. I don't mind another Bolas. 28 cards left in our library, 31 for our opponent. We're fine. I mean, we're definitely ahead. We're drawing 2 cards per turn. Opponent is drawing currently. We're drawing 3 cards per turn. Opponent's only drawing 2 cards per turn with his castle and with his draw step. I mean, Uro is drawing him an extra card, but it's fine. Alright, sure. Uro is gonna get escaped. Opponent has 3 cards in grave, so it's gonna take him a while to rebuild after I eliminate potentially this Uro. Backup Bolas, backup Chandra in our hand sounds amazing, to be honest with all of you. Alright, I think we're just gonna eliminate this Uro. Opponent has a castle lock when activation, but it's okay with me. Alright. So we're just gonna plus this Chandra. Not the added mana, just the plus. Yeah, deal damage. And plus this Bolas to draw a card and then have our opponent exile something. Double Tail's End is insane. Alright. We don't have to shock in anything. We can just play this and we can pass. Alright, not really far away from winning the game with either Bolas or Chandra. Bolas ultis on 2 more turns. We're fine. I mean, thing is, we can just protect Chandra for 1 more turn, and then ult Chandra, and then like we could just spam all of the spells in our hand, and we could win quickly. I mean, it doesn't take a while after you ulti Chandra for you to win the game. What does our opponent have in mind? I mean, Grixis is fine because I get to kill Grixis. I mean, I get to counter the draw ability from Grixis. We're gonna plus this Chandra. Deal damage, obviously. Plus draw a card, have each opponent exile a permanent. Opponent, would you exile? Alright, opponent exiling his forests, funny enough. But I mean, I would exile my... I mean, you have a Nissa. Why are you exiling all of your forests? So next turn we get the ulti Chandra. The turn after we get the ulti Bolas. We're gonna Tail's End the ability that creates a shark because I want to protect Chandra for 1 more turn. Sure, he can draw his card. Fine with him drawing a card. Alright, we're afraid of a potential top deck. Actually, top deck Nissa is fine, even if it resolves, because I could ulti Chandra using Nicol Bolas, because Bolas says that he has all the loyalty abilities of all other planeswalkers on the battlefield. So I could actually just ulti Chandra twice this turn. I first ulti with Bolas and then I ulti with Chandra. And then that way I have 2 triggers. So it would just need me 2 spells to win the game. So I think we're gonna go for that. Yeah, definitely gonna go for that. So double ulti Chandra, play Chandra plus Chandra, deal damage to his face. That's 10 damage. I could play the Nicol Bolas, the Dragon God. That's another 10 damage. That's exactly lethal. Let's see what our opponent has in mind. Grixis is... let's see. Do I want to even do anything to that? I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. I could play Bolas, destroy that card. I mean, he's dead. Just gonna counter the trigger that gains him life and draws him cards. But I think we have definitely secured this game, right? Let's think this back because this is the most crucial turn. So -7 ulti. -7 ulti. I deal 10 damage per spell. Play spell 1. Play spell 2. That's 20 damage. Yeah. So let's get this emblem. Alright. And then let's get this other emblem. Alright. And then we're gonna Chandra. And then we're gonna win the game. Alright, so first game in the bag. Side in Narset for sure, side in Typhoon for sure. Warboss is an amazing play, Dispute is good. I think we can side out Scarab God, side out Extinction Event. Bonecrusher Giant doesn't do much. Push can go out, I'm just gonna keep on copy the deal with Grixis. I think I can side out one Chandra and one Bolas because he's probably gonna bring an Aether Gust and I don't want my 5 mana spell to get Aether Gusted. Reminder to stay hydrated. Max is pulling the old avatar trick on us, and what's the avatar trick, you might ask? Remember when I talked about how people would play mono red aggro but then have the fairy as their icon, so people would think, oh, it's a fairy icon, he's probably playing mono red, he's playing, I mean, Esper Control, and then boom, slam in mono red. So Max has the same idea, he's playing, he's putting Domri, yeah, I think his name is Domri, so he has a Domri icon, so people go like, he's probably playing Gruul, a disgusting pair of colors. So let's just like stay calm and just keep all of your removal, and then bam, Sultai Control, baby. Yeah, so that's the avatar check in a nutshell. Do you think we're avatar checking our opponents by playing Sarah, so people think we're playing maybe mono white prison, and then boom, we're playing another control deck? I mean, I don't think we're avatar checking them just because prison is essentially a control deck, so they kind of have a control deck in mind. But maybe, just maybe, they think we're playing Angels. Horrible, horrible hand. But I mean, this hand is Thoughtseize proof. You know why? Because it has all lands. Sure, Warboss can be taken, but I mean, beyond that, all lands. Not a better hand, but I mean, I don't want to mulligan even more. So we're just gonna keep going. If we can secure a turn 3 Warboss that's uncontested, I think we just win the game, honestly. So let's try to Thought Erasure next turn into Warboss the turn after. Thoughtseize is just gonna ruin our dreams of doing that. Alright, he probably has removal for the Warboss, it seems. So let's see what happens. Sorry for the background noise. Tail's End is an amazing top deck, honestly. Just gonna pass a turn. Alright. Uro into land would be scary. Although I don't think he has a land, just because Fabled Passage was played, and I don't think Thoughtseize. I mean, sure. What can I do to stop that? It's probably gonna take the Warboss. I mean, I think it's a Warboss, right? Yeah, expected. Let's try to draw into another one. We're gonna cycle Shark Typhoon now because I need to draw cards. Usually you're patient with your Shark Typhoon, but I need to hit land drops. Yeah, we're hitting land drops and we're just gonna pass. And I think it means that he doesn't have an Aether Gust in hand. If he had an Aether Gust in hand, he would have probably not even cared about the Warboss that much because he could have Aether Gusted it. Can you stop playing Thoughtseize? It's the third Thoughtseize. Lol. I mean, I could have waited, but I mean, I'm just frustrated. You need to play this Chandra. Alright, sure. If he top decks land goes Nissa, I get punished, but I mean, it's the frustration of getting Thoughtseized. Yeah, opponent, you know the feeling? Of course you do, because you've done it 3 times! Not salty at all, by the way. Sure, Shark Typhoon token is annoying, but it's fine. Aether Gust negate. What bothers me more? I think just negate. Yep. So the land was probably a top deck since he didn't play it last turn. Alright, attacking me. Do you want to protect your Shark Typhoon token, opponent? He does not. I mean, that's the right play, honestly. Let's just play this land and let's just pass. Yeah, we are in top deck war mode. Although I think I'm favored in top deck war mode just because of our draw spells. Hieroglyphic Illumination, I mean. Did you top deck a negate, opponent? Alright, opponent did not top deck a negate. He probably top decked a Nissa. We're gonna play this land and just see if he top decked Nissa. Nissa in 3, 2. I mean, kind of the same thing, honestly. Kind of the same thing. It's actually worse because Narset can draw him into a Nissa. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I just concede. I mean, Narset into Nissa was brutal, so I don't even want to continue playing. Still feel like this is the correct way to sideboard. I got very unlucky with Thoughtseize into Thoughtseize into Thoughtseize. Not the best feeling. I'm laughing because that's the way I won my Pioneer tournament. I won game 1 Thoughtseize into Thoughteize. Into, yes, you guessed it, Thoughtseize. So Domri giving us the success kid emote, which is quite bothering. Let's see if we can like snap off a win in this game. Let's see if our opponent is simply going to Thoughtseize us into oblivion once again. If he does or if he doesn't, I'm quite happy about this deck. I think game 1 was insane. I'm very proud of our game 1. Let's hope we get to win this game. If we don't, I mean, I'm sure game 1 was enough entertainment for all of us. Let's just play first. Turn 1 Thoughtseize into turn 2 Thought Erasure. Play a Shark Typhoon as a 1/1. Obliterate your opponent. Sounds good. Alright, Watery Grave. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize, Tails, and Thought Distortion. Let's just take this Thoughtseize. Doom Whisper is probably the next card I take. Do I want to take out Tails and this early on? I don't think so. Let's just Thought Erasure. I still think we take the Doom Whisper. Another Thought Erasure, so we could go Thought Erasure, your Thought Distortion, play the Zagoth Triome next turn, draw a card. Yeah, definitely that's the play. I definitely keep this Thought Erasure on top. Opponent, what do you play? I mean, kind of not this bothering because most of the plan was from the top deck. Interesting. Alright, Thoughtseize again. Thought Erasure, I mean, again. Thought Distortion can go away. Tails End is an amazing pickup. Because if they get to play anything, like we can Tails End it. If they don't, we just Hieroglyphic Illumination. Alright. Just play our Pathway as a blue source, pass the turn back. We kind of need to draw into some red sources because, as you've noticed, we've drawn into 0. But I mean, that will happen when it happens. That's my philosophy in life currently. It will happen when it happens. Narset can earn the Tails End. Alright, top deck war mode, but I think we're advantaged, and this Mystical Dispute can put our advantage even more. Because if opponent plays land, goes Nissa, we're fine. Land Nissa. Yeah, just Mystical Dispute that. And let's just go into our turn. Legion Warboss, lol. Kind of a bad Legion Warboss, honestly. Alright, and now we get to push our advantage. Red source. Finally a red source. And now we get to do this. Let's just Legion Warboss. And let's just try to win the game that way. Alright. Does he Tails End this trigger? If he tails end this trigger, I'm gonna be so happy, or if he doesn't. Now, a perfect draw, their opponent would be top deck Nissa. A perfect draw for us would be top deck land. Uro after I Grafdigger's Cage just kind of feels bad. Perfect top deck for us would be Red Source. Alright, no Red Source, but Narset. Nonetheless, a very good top deck. Let's just attack for 5. See? Warboss takes over the game quite quickly. Could play the Narset, force out the Tails and... yeah, I think we're gonna do that. And then that way, if we top deck a Red Source, we're guaranteed to resolve Chandra next turn. One's thinking very hard about whether or not to let this Narset resolve. I think he's considering, and it actually resolves. That's impressive. I think I'm gonna just get Thoughtseize. See what our opponent has in mind. I'm usually not this evil, but I was complaining about opponent playing triple Thoughtseize. We played Thoughtseize into Thought Erasure, into Thought Erasure, into Thoughtseize. Our draw was insane this game. Alright guys, thank you so much for making my day better. Thank you for allowing me to play this game and for documenting it forever for me to always watch when I feel like I got cheated out of something. I wanted to thank you for your constant support for this channel. If you did enjoy these games as much as I did, please do consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Subscribing and commenting being the big ones for us to keep going through this Chromium journey together. If you want to help the channel beyond that, you can check out my Patreon link in the description down below. And speaking of patrons, I wanted to thank them for making my content possible, and a huge shout out to I am Mark Mac. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.